everyone, it's me, Mimi Combs, and today I wanted to talk about one of my favorite movies, one of my, if not my favorite anime movie, A Silent Voice. I was inspired for this video because I recently rewatched the movie with my friends and we were talking about it a bit, you know, chatting during the movie, and I realized something and I couldn't stop thinking about it, and it's just like, I need to know. It's like the biggest mystery in my head as far as A Silent Voice goes. And that question would be, why in the world does Shoya wear his t-shirt tag sticking out like that in every single scene? I've been grappling with this one for a while and I just could never think of anything. Like, it just seemed like a little character quirk that, I don't know, I couldn't think of anything it could be about, but then I started looking into it and it was kind of interesting, so I thought I would share what I learned and what maybe Shoya's tag sticking out of his shirt actually means. Now, when you clicked on this video, you probably didn't think that this was all going to be dedicated to the tag sticking out of the main character's shirt. And that's understandable. There is another huge mystery with A Silent Voice, and that is what Shoya's sister looks like. There is only a few moments that she's in the movie and you only get to see her legs, but there is no visuals of her face. You only get to see her husband and her daughter, Maria, who I love. And I'm just the hugest Maria fan, but that is besides the point of this entire video. Now let me show you guys what I'm talking about, and let me show you the whole like 360, like a ton of different examples. This is throughout the whole entire movie where Shoya's tag is sticking out of his t-shirt. It's not an accident. It's not only in like one scene, and it's just like always there. It's like omnipresent, like his shirt, and it's always the same shirt. Like, does this dude only have one shirt that he's been wearing since elementary school? I don't know. And my initial thought was just kind of like, oh, he doesn't care. Like, he's just like, kind of shrug it off kind of guy. But like, I feel like I needed to go a little deeper than that. So I did some research, and the first thing I have is just some general information about what the tag sticking out of your t-shirt could mean. So in general, having the t-shirt sticking out of your shirt is kind of just like embarrassing. It's like out of place, and it's kind of the same as like having some food on your face. It's like childish and that sort of thing, and people will sometimes say, oh, by the way, your tag's sticking out, or they'll tuck it back in for you. So that is up for debate in itself, but that is the general idea. Also, I read conflicting reports that the t-shirts could be actually more comfortable with the tag sticking out, or they could be more comfortable with the tag tucked in. It doesn't seem to make much sense, but I thought the general idea was tucked in is better. I don't know. Along the same vein of research, I found a webtoon called I Love You. And there's a whole chapter with a character that has their t-shirt untucked, like the tag untucked the entire time. This one I think is even more important because webtoons, they don't usually have as high like production value, and they don't add unnecessary details at all pretty much. So there was a lot of debate about what this is about. So I was looking through a Reddit conversation about this webtoon chapter, and one person was saying that it kind of was to show his like youthfulness and childishness as a character. I don't personally know the webtoon, so I can't speak to that, but it would kind of make sense. Like, a kid would have like food on their face, or they would have like their t-shirt untucked. And there's another comment that I thought was really interesting, but I couldn't find like any other information online to back it up, so like take this with a grain of salt. But they were saying that there's like this Mexican story they've heard where if your tag on your t-shirt is untucked, that it means that you have problems with your mother-in-law. And that was really weirdly specific and like really random. I don't know how I came across this, but if you think about it in the context of A Silent Voice, it does make sense.
I remember you. Your Shoko's
It's not mother-in-law per se, but I feel like it's pretty interesting nonetheless. Now, along with the discussion of the I Love You webtoon, there's also some Reddit conversations about A Silent Voice specifically and Shoya's tag, because it is pretty noticeable and it's something that sticks out like pretty much the whole entire movie. So there was a few theories on there, and these are also not backed up, and they kind of sound like a research paper or like a literature paper where you're like over analyzing a book. The first theory is maybe that it's just like an explanation to how he can't like notice things around him. Like, if he can't even notice this tag on the back of his neck like scratching him, like no wonder he can't notice Shoko's feeling towards him. And I think this one was like a nice like statement, but I don't think it's a good reasonable explanation. It's just kind of a joke. I don't know, but I mean, it does kind of make sense where it's kind of it's not on top of his mind or he's not paying attention. The second one, which I think is actually getting pretty close to what I think might be true, is that he's like this delinquent and a bully, and he's like a monster, like everyone who would do this, like nobody who's like responsible and respectable would be wearing their tag untucked, and since he is kind of like delinquent, then that is why he is, if that makes sense. So as for the answer to the question, why does Shoya leave his tag untucked on his t-shirt throughout the entire movie, I think that there is no one answer. It's really confusing, and I'm sure that the person who made the movie had like an idea in their head, but honestly what I'm gonna go with as my explanation is the idea that this is a built-up habit from his childhood when he was like a bully, so it's kind of like shows that he's like a delinquent. He doesn't care what he looks like, he's kind of just wearing his clothes however he wants to, and then as he gets older he's too preoccupied with just like other things in his mind, like his like depression and everything, to actually care anymore. And I think that that in general is like a nice explanation of it, although I'm not sure if it's correct or anything. It would be funny if it was like the mother-in-law thing. I haven't heard that anywhere else. If you are familiar with that or have any idea what that could mean, let me know. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and also I'm really glad to have potentially solved this mystery for you guys. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!